Welcome to Epic Learning's Heartbeat with the World, Volume 38. Me and Nat here today. Hey, Nat.
Hey.
Every week we get together, we discuss our wins of the week and something that we've learnt. So, Nat, you're first. What was your win of the week?
Win of the week for me had a bit of a... I kind of went back on something that I said I'd never do. So I said I'd never own an Apple product. And after some subtle hints from you, I finally got myself an iPad, and I've been looking at them for ages. I've been looking at Android tablets, and I've gone and I've got myself an iPad. There's a lot of reasons why I need to have an Apple product. Namely, the main thing is because our learning app has started to sell on the Apple Store, and I need to be able to monitor feedback. I need to be, we're actually creating Apple products, so I can't not have an Apple product. And I guess the win of the week was that it's actually really awesome, and I'm really enjoying it, and it can do some really cool stuff, and I can see how it's going to be way more productive. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yay! Welcome to the walled garden.
Yeah.
I was the same, but you got to be playing in both pools or both parties in order to make sure stuff works, which is my personal reason why I keep telling myself. But there's a lot of love from developers for Apple products.
Yeah.
I made an entire movie on my iPad with my nieces over the holidays, and I was able to shoot it, edit it, upload it all in one place. It was super easy, and I showed them how to do it on their dad's phone. So, yeah.
And the getting rid of my keyboard dependency as well has been the other part of that. So using a touch screen and an Apple Pencil instead of using a mouse and typing. So being able to break away some of your day of not using your mouse and keyboard is really good for your body. It's a whole different sort of brain thing going on. It's much more tactile because you're using your hands. So I'm going to try and get good at using that touch screen like all the kids can.
Yeah.
I think at the moment my 3-year-old niece is probably better at touchscreen than I am.
You get to be productive on flights and travel as well. So very
true.
Because I'm loving. That's what I'm loving my iPad for. It's like there's never enough room to have a massive laptop there, but there's always enough room to do some reading and catch up on emails. My one of the week, I was running a workshop for 3 days today, and it was the third one that we've run in the similar work stream that I've been going through. And we had this big win where we had this meeting, and all the subject matter experts that were there said, "We love this learning content, yay!" And then I can see in their eyes and after we're talking about it, was that we actually listened to them from the previous. So there's been iterations from each workshop. So they say, "Oh, we don't like this." So the next workshop, we showed them this. And then last workshop, they said, "Okay, we need more relevant things in this space." So we listened, and then we did it. And this time they went,
nice.
It's good, right? Like, so we got to the point where we listened enough for them to be just fine-tuning pieces, opposed to saying, "Oh, you need to radically change this or do this or do this." And it just felt really good that they recognized that we put the effort in. And if you put that effort in, they've got to give something back, right? Like they thank and they work with you, and we get through the content a lot quicker. So it was a win, putting the effort in and listening, which
maybe you could do that more often.
we listen more. I guess it's more about being actionable listening. So getting them to give us what they need, but in an actionable way, opposed to an opinion way, because you never can get it right if it's, "Oh, we need it to be a bit more slick," what does slick mean? Or we need it to be a bit more simple. Whereas stop doing these overly complicated visuals and make them simple and be relevant to what we're talking about. It's like, okay. And it actually makes the development time faster as well, actually listening to.
And I think it's testament to the work you've put in with building a bit of a team environment and getting everyone on the same page around what a SME does, how to give good feedback, how to work with the product, So over the time that you've been working on this project, I've really seen a real connection start to form and some really good relationships build. And if you've got that kind of communication going, then this stuff happens, work becomes easier because people are really truly collaborating.
I think sometimes it's easy to fall in the trap of, oh, they should know this or know how this works. But there is a bit of an education piece on what does, because they don't know what good e-learning is in a way, right? They just know what they want, and they're going to always compare it to the old stuff. So being able to show them what's possible, and then move that to something that's more practical for what they want. Yeah, super one.
And for our non-industry listeners or watchers, what's a SME, Karl, and what do they do?
Subject matter, small, medium, subject matter experts. The people that hold 99% of your business's knowledge.
Yeah,
people that I'm working with, and then they're not meant to be e-learning experts where we kind of crunch down complicated things and make them simpler. That always is going to give us the most bugbear big problems, and our problem is how to break it apart and kind of
make it digestible for
everyone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we've kind of hit the middle ground where they're on board and they get it.
Yeah, it's one of the most common questions I get asked from people when we're talking about what we do is how do you know what to train them, how do you, we go into so many different industries from, this year we've worked with engineers, mathematicians, sales people, we've worked with customer service reps, we've worked with, builders, we've lots of different industries.
Yeah.
It's not actually about, for us, we're the experts in how to turn it into great learning. The SME is the expert on how to be great at it. And so they're really our partners in crime when it comes to building really good learning. Yeah,
exactly. And it's giving them a little bit more skills around how e-learnings work, since they didn't have any, really helped us in the development process, because they can start speaking our language while they're teaching me to speak their language. Yeah, so it's really cool, really cool. Big one. Okay,
nice.
Let's talk about what was the big learning this week. Nat, anything?
I had a big learning to share today. So my big learning has been going on for a wee while now, it's been a couple of months, but I've read some really interesting articles around dopamine and dopamine hits when you're picking up your phone every 5 minutes, when you're jumping on sort of that kind of instant gratification type sites like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, so I wondered how much am I spending on my phone? How much time am I spending on my phone? So I downloaded an app called Quality Time, which measures not just how long I'm spending on my phone, but on what app. What am I doing on my phone? And it was pretty eye-opening. So I think a lot of people can relate. Bit of time in the morning before I get up out of bed, 5 minutes here on this break, 5 minutes there, in between tasks at work, might stop and check my Facebook, those sorts of things. And it was adding up to anywhere between sort of 3 to 5.5 hours a day. So that was a huge shock for me. I'm a really busy person. And when I looked at the types of things that I was using on my phone, some were legitimate parts of my work, parts of, some of it was legitimate time, but where, and I guess the analogy is to eating bad, where the sugar was in those little 5-minute stops, those little sort of interruptive. So maybe standing up in line at the petrol station and there's 2 people in front of me, so you pick up your phone, all of those sorts of things. So Quality Time showed me that I was getting dopamine hits from my smartphone all day. So I've did some research. I've been learning about how to be more mindful. I've started by taking off some apps off my phone that didn't have to leave the app, just took it off my phone, so that if I actually genuinely want to go to that app and look at what's going on there, I have to make the effort to be at my computer to log in, that sort of thing. I have started putting my phone away from my desk all day, so it's in another room all day, and I get notifications if someone's calling me by my phone, so by my watch, so it's just not there as a visual temptation. And I've cut my phone usage down significantly, by more than half, and I'm not missing anything. I haven't missed any. I've gained 2.5 hours of my life every day. Yeah, so real big learning. A really learning. I guess the learning was seeing how much I was doing it, becoming mindful of what I was doing every day. Really big learning, and then actually having to learn a little bit about how to change that behavior and some strategies to cope without my phone, you know, but to change, because I don't want to spend that much time sitting on my phone every day. Yeah.
You got me onto the same app, and just the amount of times I would check my phone, like 150 times a each go.
Yeah, that number really startled me.
That's a little mental stutter, right? Like, and then every time you pick it up, how many times does it take that something goes, oh, should I play that game, or should I?
Yeah.
That's when you fall down and when you start getting tired. My afternoon usage is like in the mornings and the afternoons were the times that I'm obviously most vulnerable using. So there's a couple of things I changed as well. I instead of spending so much time reading the latest tech news or whatever, I only do that for like 15 minutes, and I go for a walk, and it's the same amount of time I was using on my phone, lying in bed reading on my phone. Now I get a walk out of it, right? Like, so it's like being able to replace some of the negative uses and actually getting something out of it as well. So super cool. So was it quality time on Android? Is that correct?
Yeah, quality time on Android is the app if you're interested. Lots of apps out there that do that though. So on my new, ironically, my win of the week was I got a new iPad. But part of that came out of that is really understanding we use technology as a tool every day in our work. They're really important parts of what we do. So what are the tools that I am using? So I still use my phone, and I still use my phone in a classroom, but it's a tool. It's actually helping me. It's not just enslaving me to advertising because that's kind of what, you know, the bottom line. Being really mindful of that made me realize that a lot of the stuff would be better used as an iPad. So I actually think now I'm going to use my phone even less, because the iPad has become a tool, and I've not purposely not installed any social media on it because it's going to be a work tool, you know. And so it's really actually just part of being mindful and being really aware of intentional use. And the other thing is, there's times where you do just want to sit down for an hour and scroll mindlessly through, or play that Candy Crush, or do whatever that. And there's actually nothing wrong with that, but it's about being mindful, and about that being the decision that you've made to spend your time doing that way, rather than it being stolen from you without you noticing.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference. So, great learning for me.
Pretty sure iPads have the iOS says they're built into it now, each thing.
Yeah.
So, so for your iPhone users, you already got it. You just need to check it out if you get the latest version.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Share your. I'd like to see how people go. Whether it is something that they think, wow, you know, it was a real revelation for me, and how much I was using my phone.
Take the quality time challenge and share how many unlocks you did yesterday. So
yeah.
I'm a work in progress, team.
That's it. So am I. But it's actually little changes make a big difference in the long run. Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's wrap it up there.
Have a great week. See you.